It's my great pleasure to announce today that the Toronto Maple Leafs are adding Dave Nonis as Senior Vice President of Hockey Operations.
I think at the end of the day, when all is said and done, if we have the patience and the nerve to do what needs to be done, then collectively we'll be able to put this team right back where it belongs.
One guy's not smart enough to answer all the questions an organization faces. You need 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And I think today, that's what I'm excited about today. We're adding a guy I think that can really help us at that level.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Air Canada Centre where Caberlet and company are ready to take on the Washington Capitals. That will be on the ice. Off the ice, there was some big news on this day. This is Molson Canadian Leaf Nation Pregame. I'm Jody Vance, along with play-by-play man Joe Bowen and our senior reporter, Paul Hendrick. And we have some big stuff to discuss today as it is official, as you heard Brian Burke say right there, Dave Nonis is officially the Senior Vice President of Hockey Operations for your Toronto Maple Leafs. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and think, Joe, you might have seen this coming.
Well, as Gomer Pyle once said, surprise, surprise, surprise. Well, it wasn't really that big a surprise. In fact, I think that the contract that Dave Nonis had with Anaheim, which really allowed him to kind of get out from underneath it, was probably a precursor to all of this. But the whole situation is he's worked exceptionally well with Brian Burke over the years, and he brings a wealth of knowledge at various levels, whether it be the league level, whether it be contractual numbers crunching level, whether it be general manager level and pulling off big trades. So here's a guy that's got a wealth of information and a wealth of knowledge.
And really, as we look at the bio board, Paul, he's pretty much come all the way along with Brian Burke.
Well, he is just a mini-me version in terms of what Brian did in terms of getting, not a law degree, but he did get his MBA from the University of Maine, has worked his way from hockey management with Brian back into the National Hockey League, where he knows this cap inside and out, having gone through the collective bargaining agreement back in the 1994-95 season, and joins a group already in place here that certainly knows it well enough. So they referred to it this morning as adding yet another layer, and it is going to be a crowded office, but it's going to be a very knowledgeable and talented one.
And a point that you make there, it's going to be a crowded office, and Brian Burke does like to bring in opinions, and one thing about Dave Nonis is he's not a yes man to Brian Burke's admittedly short fuse.
You mean like the senior reporter
right,
over
yes.
here? Yeah. Oh, yeah, yes, man. Well, you know what, and that's the whole idea about it. And you really do have to have devil's advocates in the building, even if you agree with the situation, to say, let's take a look from the flip side and see exactly where it might be if it's the wrong idea. And I think that's a great idea. And when you've got people like Cliff Fletcher and you've got Joey Nieuwendyk and you've got Al Coates and various others who are going to be presenting their points of view, ultimately you get lots of input, and then ultimately it's Mr. Burke's decision as to what happens and what doesn't happen.
I like how he addressed, because of this hiring doesn't mean that anybody's out of a job. Everybody relax. This is a committee to make this team better.
Yeah, want to make sure Nonis doesn't do play-by-play.
No, Nonis isn't coming in to take
right,
your job, Joe. He's standing by to come on live with us right here on the Molson Canadian Leaf Nation pregame show, because this is Leaf Nation HQ. Where else would the new Senior VP be? But here, next.